Hey everybody, welcome to TenX Profits. In today's video, we'll be discussing companies are starting to add Solana as part of their digital asset treasury strategy. Also, we'll be discussing potential Fed to cut rates next week, September 17. After the rate cuts, how high can Solana go? As well, we'll be looking at our liquidity tracker to see if there are liquidity coming to sustain Solana's rally. And as well, we'll be looking to see our price projection for Solana. Okay, so let's get into the first news here. So right now, Forward Industries stock skyrockets as firm pivots to being Solana Treasury. Forward Industries will shift its business into cryptocurrencies treasury focused on Solana. So the provider of design services for medical and tech firms will get a 1.65 billion infusion from crypto-based companies and its largest shareholder to build the reserve. That's some big news for Solana. Ford Industry shares soared 70% Monday on these news. Okay, so the next news here is Standard Chartered expects Fed to cut rates by 50 basis points next week after weak jobs data. So Standard Chartered expects the U.S. Federal Reserve to cut interest rates by 50 basis points, double its earlier projections of 25 basis reduction, following a soft August jobs report. So data on Friday showed U.S. job growth weakened sharply in August, and the unemployment rate rose to a nearly 4-year high of 4.3%, confirming a softening labor market and bolstering the case for a rate cut this month. So again, we're waiting, the market's waiting for the rate cuts. Can the Fed rate cut in September propel Solana to 240? We believe so and more. So Solana's golden cross at 215 and 220 resistance breakout signal potential for $240 to $260 rally. Solana forms a double bottom near 200, breaking above 213 and 214 into an ascending channel with RSI at 60 and MACD approaching a golden cross. At 218 and 220 breakout could target 235. So while breakdown below 215 risks, retesting 138 to 154 138 to 152 support, emphasizing volume and institutional buying. I believe after the rate cuts, Solana will not go back down to 138 to 152. If it does, it's a blessing. I would be buying more. But I believe that it will be reaching bottom at 240 to the high of, I'll leave that until the next video when we go into the charts. So the macroeconomic tailwinds includes Fed rate cuts next week, September 17, and a potential October 2025 ETF approval. That's coming. And a 1.65 billion institutional investment. All right, so that's some great bullish news for Solana right there. So if you're not in Solana, I would advise you to get into Solana now. We'll look into the charts to explain to you when you should get in, when you should get out, when you should add or DCA. So institutional investors are shifting capital to altcoins like Solana and XRP amidst Bitcoin's dominance driven by Fed rate cuts and regulatory clarity with Genius Acts. All right, let's look at our liquidity tracker. So this is a chart that we have created. Liquidity is at 58%. Now we're looking at long-term liquidity. Liquidity has dropped by 58%. We do have a lot to cover, so I won't talk too much about it. We did mention that you are still in a choppy range. The short-term liquidity has also dropped down to 7%. In the last 24 hours, liquidity has dropped minus 43%. This is a big deal. So I would imagine who's ever in the market right now, if you're heavily profitable, I would be skimming off some of the profits and waiting for the crash, waiting for the dip or waiting for the pullback that is coming, which we talked about in the past, that in our past videos, we said in the next 7 to 10 days, we could be seeing a correction. So the correction is still coming as now with the liquidity is being shown here at minus 43% in the last 24 hours. I would be kind of cautious. So Solana here, again, 223 uptrend. What I want to show here, so the uptrend for Solana is at 95 score, which is really good, close to 100. It is one of our high conviction plays, so we are DCAing into Solana. So again, the long-term probability for our Solana target will be in the 1 to 3 months. Solana will hit 257.11 in the next 1 to 3 months. Okay, that coincides with our last chart. Within 20 days it could be hit 255-ish. Okay, so it kind of aligns with that. And profit target number 2, between 6 and 12 months, Solana could be hitting 288.06, and profit number 3 will be in the next 12 to 36 months. Solana will be hitting $497, $2.55. So the probability again for Solana to 3x will be at 90% probability for it to hit 257 to hit to 3x from the current price right now at 223, sorry. So the probability that Solana will 3x from 223 would be 90%. And the probability for Solana to 5x would be 63%, and the probability for Solana to hit 10x will be 40%. Okay. All right, let's get into the charts. So right now we're looking at the Solana daily chart here. As you can see, Solana is sitting at $223. It is in a strong uptrend, and you can see here we do have a lot of buying momentum, buying pressure here. This is the speed trend analyzer. It's showing up really strong green bars. On balance volume is showing a nice uptrend here from here to there, nice in the green, which is great, which is what we're looking at for. This is the volatility is very low, so which is good for a steady climb toward higher prices. So right now we're going to take a look at the short term. We're going to look at the short term price projection here. We're going to use the Fibonacci. The Fibonacci is here from the low to the high previous, and we're just going to pinpoint here. So we're looking right now target of 248.61. so that's the next target that it's potentially going to be going. You can see here from the low to the high, this is the golden pocket where we tend to trade the Fibonacci's price level. So it did consolidate around our 0.382, 0.5 and 0.618. So it did consolidate around there and still consolidating, and it broke up. We're sitting at 222 right now, so it could still run up to our price of 248.61 in the short term, but in the long term we already stated in the previous chart that is definitely going to be going much higher. So right now if you're looking to buy Solana, I wouldn't be buying Solana right now because it is on the uptrend. It is going towards our 248 price target there. So what I would wait is for it to come back down around the 213, 202 level, and that's where I would be buying. If it doesn't come down to that level, if it does hit 248, I would look for a retracement back down to 213, 215, and then start buying from there. So I would be cautious if you're looking to buy right now because it is potentially going on the way to 248, but it could always come and break down to 213 and come back to the 202. Anything could happen, but based on what we're looking at here, the momentum for Solana be going towards the 248 is pretty strong. So if you're risk averse and you're comfortable with it, if you want to buy at this level, you can go ahead and trade it and ride it all the way to 248. That's up to you. But if you're dollar cost averaging like us on this channel, we would be buying around the 202, 213 level, and then pick up more shares from there every single time it dips and falls. Okay, so that's what we have for you today. If you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.